Hey Sri Lanka, it's another amazing podcast time at Tabe, and right now I have Dion, the only guy I know who can break glass with his voice, or tries to.
Tries to, I think.
Theater guy slash the guy who slays behind the scenes at GamerLk.
Thank you. I'm very flattered.
No, but it's true. Like, you on the team every year, man. It's something to be so proud of.
Yeah, it's been like an exciting few years at GLK, and Ingame Esports is what the company is actually known
Right.
as. But yeah, GLK, IG, it's been like an exciting few years, and just this last week and these last few weeks also have been especially. What's the word? Wild, because I mean, you know, and you'll be there. Play Expo is coming up.
Dude, everyone is excited. You
Yeah.
guys have like, I don't know, mad amounts of like registrations this year.
Correct.
And Vikram was like, bro, this year somehow it's gonna be 400 registrations for cosplays.
Correct. So one thing that Play Expo kind of prides itself upon is, Play Expo has Play Expo and then Colombo Comic Expo, and then it's also got like a whole. It's the whole idea of the event is that it's not just esports, it's geek culture, it's pop culture, it's all of that put together, right? It's everything that the youth wants in one place. So it's a youth expo, if you will. And the cool thing about it is one of the things that coming back to is one of the things that we pride ourselves upon with is that we have, I think, arguably one of the largest cosplay ramp walks in the country. And that is happening again this year. We're looking by expecting about 200 to 400 cosplayers.
Dude, yeah.
at
I mean,
the
it was
event.
like 200, what, a day ago?
Yeah, correct. It was like 200 plus cosplayers registered a day ago, and the good thing is the quality of cosplay in Sri Lanka is also quite good. You have some
Dude,
really
yeah.
wild fabricators here. They do some really nice stuff, and it's been pretty exciting. There's a lot of people within our company itself who want to be cosplaying. And they've
I mean,
already
they can,
been,
right?
naturally, yeah. So you'll see a few of the cosplayers who also working while also being part of the cosplay.
You know what I
unit,
want to
but,
see Raveen in?
What?
A Pikachu costume.
Oh, that's
Come on, Raveen.
interesting.
Ramesh could be Jigglypuff.
I'm gonna tell them on the group.
I mean, no need. It's gonna be like him.
Yeah, it's gonna be in the public, guys. There is a public call for Ramesh to portray Jigglypuff and for Raveen to portray Pikachu. I don't know if I should be endorsing this, but I'm all for it. Let's go.
Yeah, that's the spirit, right?
But yeah, it's pretty fun.
Are you gonna be cosplaying
No,
too?
I'm not gonna be cosplaying.
Don't lie.
Okay, here's the deal, right?
But you're a theater guy.
I am, and the appeal of cosplay is very much there. I'd love to do it, but I just have not had the time to actually get into it.
You know what
myself.
you should do?
So big props to everyone who's actually coming to Play Expo and is putting the effort into doing cosplay. I mean, I'm just looking forward to watching everyone shine there, man. It's gonna be
Dude,
amazing.
last year was so cool. Like,
Yeah.
even though like there was this island-wide power cut,
Yeah.
somehow I don't know how and who was it, Wickham or his brother. One of the guys managed to get like a JBL speaker,
Yeah.
and somehow like that ramp happened, and everyone was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah!" That was amazing.
Thankfully,
to
the
see.
next day at Play Expo was better because so the first day we had the solo cosplays, I think, and the second day was when we had like the group cosplay sessions, and that was wild because that had all the lights, the bells and whistles, and all that, and no power cut. Thankfully,
Hey.
this year, thankfully, hopefully, no power cuts, and things will be okay.
Looks of the government.
What? But yeah, man, it'll be pretty exciting. So come.
And so, apart from like the cosplay stuff, there's like SLCDC doing like a artist alley.
Correct. So there's an artist alley. I'm not sure if so whoever's watching. Actually, they were on your podcast before, Randy.
Yeah.
Randy Chris. I think one of Sri Lanka's best artists. 100%. Like I said, they make a regular appearance at Play Expo, and this year as well they'll be there with a whole bunch of other artists as well, with an artist alley, with people displaying their artwork. There are people doing panel discussions. There'll be
There's panel discussions.
there usually is like a few discussions, or there's usually a whole bunch of activities, right? So if you're an artist, and even if you're not an artist and you just appreciate art and want to see good Sri Lankan talent, just come there, because there's like this whole, that's a little microcosm of talent, if you will, artistic talent, right? And you have all sorts of conversations and discussions you can have with people, especially because last year I personally sat in while Randy Chris was talking about his story, and it's just so inspiring because it's all these people like you and I, right? And like you constantly say, there's never an
international scene without a local one.
Correct, and that's pretty much the stories you get to hear at this, especially because Randy's someone who's made it to the international scene, and the fact that he's kind of spearheading this artist movement with us is something that we're super excited about as well.
Man, I'm excited because this time around there's going to be so much of work on display for people to come and check out, and it's just going to be so cool, man.
Correct. It'll be wild, and the artwork itself is really cool, and aside from that, there's also the whole esports side of things.
We need to talk about that. What is happening with
SLCG? Yeah, so essentially SLCG is essentially what happens within Play Expo now.
Yeah.
But we just call it Play Expo.
So SLCG is no more then?
It is.
Or just
amalgamated into this, I suppose, because essentially this is probably Sri Lanka's biggest I don't even know how to say probably, I think it is Sri Lanka's biggest multi-title esports tournament.
Yeah.
And you're looking at hundreds to thousands of esports athletes will be there competing across various titles. We've got a whole bunch of titles this time.
What are the biggest titles this year?
I think in general in Sri Lanka the biggest titles are Free Fire, PUBG Mobile, and the mobile
Valorant,
titles.
that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and generally mobile titles have a bigger participation in the country. Because naturally, right, mobile is accessible to everyone. Everyone has a phone in their hands. So it's very easy to become. You don't need a lot of special gear to get started. So the accessibility makes it kind of a platform for anyone to become an esports athlete. And that's something that we actually, I think Vikum and the team, when they've been asked like, what do esports athletes need to what do you need to become an esports athlete, right, to build that discipline? The answer is usually you don't need much. If you have a mobile phone with you, that's all you need to get started.
And determination.
Correct. And then the next thing is determination, discipline, and all of that. So the best people that you'll see at Play Expo are probably the people who have that determination, the drive, the passion. Because especially with things like arts, esports, and anything, right? Anything along that line of things, even just regular sports, what will take you far is your determination, your discipline, and your drive. You can't be driven by, if you're driven by, say, like a monetary benefit, that's not always going to be sustainable. You
get bored, man.
Exactly, because you work so much with artists in Sri Lanka, homegrown artists. You know that anyone who's ever made it big has done it only because it started from a place of passion.
They're driven.
Yeah, and it's the drive it's a drive that you have regardless of whether you know you're going to make it or not, right? If you have your drive and you do well, then you
absolutely
can make it.
Yeah.
And I think that same goes for esports as well. Like you will see esports athletes from all over the world taking part in global tournaments, including some of our Sri Lankan boys as well. And that comes from a place of let's start small, let's build something small. And I mean, if you look at the history of like GLK and Play Expo and all of that, also it started with small beginnings, small origins. Yeah.
Ramesh and Raveen.
Yeah,
forever the duo, man.
Ramesh, Raveen,
somebody needs to do like a documentary of the two of them.
Oh, for sure. We need to have like I think there's a good 15-16 years of material there. So
Jesus Christ, on a motorbike, they have more than that, man.
Yeah, for sure. Just so before I joined GLK officially, I've always been a fan of GLK. I remember back in, I suppose, 2010-ish, they had the Candy leg of SLCG, the Candy tournament. And I remember going there, it was at the Candy City Center in like a small
shop space.
Yeah, like in a small shop space. But the vibe was just electric, right? It's just these boys and girls getting together to create this like
movement of
like esports and like, oh, let's do this, right? And I was watching that and I was inspired at that point. And then a few years later, this is again before I came, and I visited, I think, a Play Expo at that point. I think maybe 2015, 16-ish. 16, I think I visited a Play Expo and I was like, man, look how far it's come. Not Play Expo, I think it was either SSCG or Play Expo at the time, but one of the two. And I visited this event and I'm like, look how far it's come. It's so big, like since like the
Inception.
6-7 years that I last saw it in Kandy in that small space to what it is now. It's just and now this year hopefully it'll be probably one of the biggest we've done so far.
Woo! And it's at home.
And it's at home, yeah.
Yeah, SLECC.
Correct. And the cool thing about these events is it's honestly speaking, like with the amount of attendance we get and the crowd that comes in, and an event is as great as the people that come to it, right? So what makes a Play Expo great is not just the stuff that we put on and what we show. It's just this collection of like hundreds of like-minded individuals in one space. And what makes it so great is not just what GLK does. It's of course the esports side of things that brings all these esports clans, all these teams together, and their passion and energy that they put into like competing and really representing themselves in like a really cool way. It's all the cosplayers putting in their hard work towards being
the artists.
Correct.
Are you guys doing anything entertainment related this time?
There are a few different things. There's a whole lot of content creators that will be coming to the event as well. You're one of them. Who will be?
I told everyone now.
She'll be there.
No, but I have a reputation
she can't
of
not come. Yeah.
My pronouns are they, them.
They, sorry. My
That's alright.
But yeah, they have a reputation of always being there.
I don't miss it.
Yeah.
Even at last minute I come.
Correct. For sure, 100%. I don't think, I think if there's ever been like a GLK event, I've always seen Yasmin there. So it's always a good sight to see. But yeah, the wonderful thing about Play Expo that makes it so great is just all these like-minded people putting it together, the artists and all of that. And that makes it, I think, it's safe to say it's on par with like an international level youth expo, right? And so do come, experience it. It'll be epic.
And the gaming registrations, when are they on till?
Yeah, so the cool thing is we've got 2,800 plus gamers registered from around the island for Play Expo as of now. Registrations are technically still open, but that's probably for the single player titles. But what I advise everyone watching to do, because I'm not sure at what point this is going to be aired.
This probably might go on Monday.
Alright, so by that point I'm not sure which will be open and not, but you can just go to ingame.gg. That's ingame.gg, and you'll just find everything you need to know about the Play Expo esports side of things there. Beyond that, we also have the Play Expo website as well. You can just Google Play Expo and you'll get playexpo.lk.
Yeah, you guys launched a new website too, huh?
Yeah, so you'll find the playexpo.lk website that's there. So at the point of recording, we are just 6 days, 18 hours, 8 minutes and 9 seconds away from the event. Yeah, so the event's on the 7th and 8th of December at SLECC. It'll be there all day. Come by, come one, come all. It'll be
and bring cases of energy drinks for these guys.
Yeah, because there'll be a whole bunch of us just running around and getting stuff done.
Dude, always.
Having a good time, of course.
Ramesh looks pink sometimes, and I'm like, how is a brown skin guy turning
I was
pink?
just gonna ask you, like, how does a brown skin guy become pink?
I've seen Ramesh at his pinkest.
Yeah, but yeah, man.
No, but then it's a lot of work, and sometimes
it's what you do for.
I think the minimum amount of sleep he's had, or even Raveen and some of the other guys, 2 hours.
Yeah, for sure. Like during this season, it's like normal for some of the people in the company to, not everyone, especially those three, Ramesh, Raveen, Vikum, it's normal for the three of them to survive on like 1-2 hours of sleep. 3 hours of sleep to be returning, like cutting like an international tour or something that they're doing for work again, cutting it short just to make sure
Yeah.
they're here to get everything under control. Sometimes I'd have a chat with Ramesh and be like, so just for context, Ramesh is the director of broadcast and production at Ingame Esports or Gamer.lk. So everything live stream related, essentially he's one of the directors of the company, but also he kind of leads and spearheads everything broadcast and live stream related, which I must say they've built to the point that is, I think, on par with some of the
International
best
standards,
international
man, yeah.
productions, because we've had the opportunity and I suppose the what's the word, the joy, I suppose, of hosting and producing some top international level esports tournaments as well. So that's the kind of skill that Ramesh and his team and the rest of IG kind of brings to the table, that we're hoping to inculcate through our events and stuff like that. But speaking of, now that the Ramesh introduction is done, speaking of, there'd be times I'd ask him, like he was in Malaysia for an esports event, one of our clients' events, and he came back and I was like, Ramesh, how much sleep have you gotten? He's like, over the last couple of days, I don't think I slept. And I'm like, how are you surviving? He's like, no man, I feel rejuvenated, I feel energized. I'm like, I don't know man, but you're energized. I suppose when you have like there's this whole thing, like if you love what you do, if you love work, you'll never work a day in your life.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the kind of drive that is driving all of most of the people up, most of us at GLK and IG, and that's why these things are possible to even get done, because there's only so much you can do with if you're trying to quantify everything, you know. But if you do it out of passion, out of drive, and I mean, none of this would be here if these guys didn't step their boots and they're like, okay, we're gonna do like Sri Lanka's biggest esports event, like not now, I mean like 10, 15 years ago when they decided that we're gonna do this, like, you know, no one else to do it, let's do it.
Man, this needs to be a documentary at some point. I hope I get to do this.
At some point, and then we'll probably come and speak to you as well. Like, tell us what you've seen of GLK over the last few
Oh
days.
my god, it's crazy. I've known Raveen since Rock.lk, man.
Oh, Rock.
Yeah, remember that time?
Yeah. So no, I mean, but I know I said a lot of good things about passion and all that, but it's not just GLK and not just us. It's everyone because there's 2,800 plus gamers registered for this event, right?
It's everybody. It's like an ecosystem that works together.
Exactly. Every one of those guys are so passionate. Every one of those people are so passionate about this tournament, and not just about this. They're just passionate about esports and gaming, right? And that passion is what should go beyond this event, go out into the rest of the community and create this whole ecosystem, right? Because you have so many teams from our region competing at the highest levels around the world. You have some of our national esports athletes also competing at the highest levels around the world now. There was a team, I think a girls team competing internationally recently as well, a female national team, and then Vikum was at IESF. I think it was an IESF event, but over the last couple of weeks. But there's a lot of international activity happening as well from Sri Lanka. You have Sri Lankan teams kind of pushing themselves out there and taking part internationally also. But that comes out of you creating that, you know, you have to create a local ecosystem. You have to push yourself to compete internationally as well. Don't limit yourself to only local as well. Because like just over the last few weeks we got to interact with some other South Asian teams as well who were taking part at some of the world's largest tournaments, like the PUBG Mobile Global Championship had representation from South Asia, Pakistan and all as well, and these are countries like ours that have now like top tier global level esports athletes, you know, and performing at the highest levels, and that I think is something that we should all aspire to continuously do, and we do have that talent here, which is why you see our teams performing there as well. So yeah, good times.
And next year, man, what's next year gonna be like for you guys?
So it's an ever evolving space, and with us, I don't think it's always what next, what it's always to the moon, and it's always how big can we get, how big can we make our ecosystem, how big can we, as an organization, also how far can we go, how far can we take the collaborations we do. Because beyond GLK as well, we are also like an organization in our own right, that we operate with our own with a various set of brands, both local and international as well. So from both sides, it will be a matter of how much bigger can it get, right? It's never a step back. It's always what next. So yeah, exciting times. I'm not going to name drop and mention exactly what is going to happen, but there'll be good things.
Socials. That's why socials exist, man.
Yeah, so stay tuned on. I mean, we were fairly active on our socials.
Fairly, very active.
Yeah. So
and shout out to the girl who does all your content.
I think there's a couple of them. Are you
the one who's
Comic Expo girl? Or
yeah. Comic Expo.
Yeah,
short hair, cutesy girl.
Super energetic.
Shout out to you, man. You do so well.
Yeah, I know it's super energetic, and the cool thing about it is there's so many people within the company that kind of run different parts of these events, almost independently, and it's the kind of way we've kind of cultivated. Because you can't, like I said, right, an event with 2,800 gamers,
I mean, that's not
200, 400 cosplayers. The only way something like that is going to come together is if everyone who's a part of it is like 100% in.
Absolutely.
And, so exciting times. Yeah, for sure, man.
Now you know, Sri Lanka, no skipping this weekend, because it's the biggest one. It's the biggest year-end Play Expo, man. It covers everything. Everything. Everything.
Yeah, so wild.
Yeah, just worrying. Tickets, man, how does that work this year?
So there are 3 ticket categories, actually 2 ticket categories.
Two ticket categories?
Yeah, so you've got your general pass, which is like a general day pass, which comes at like 300, like I think 300 rupees. And then there's also like a premium pass. You can check it out on our website. It's you can purchase tickets online.
Ooh, so there's merch.
Like, there's like merch and like special perks and stuff. So that'll be like a cool pass to get, I suppose, if you're interested.
Yeah, I mean, memorabilia, man. It's always a cool thing.
And if you are taking part in the cosplay tournament this time, there's various categories that you can that we're rewarding cosplayers for. So there's things like best group cosplay, best cosplay, there's best original character, there's different categories like that. I mean, do check out the site as well. So there's chance for actually being rewarded and winning something and being recognized for your efforts in cosplay as well.
Who's on the panel this time, like the judging panel for the cosplay ramp?
The details will be revealed soon.
On the day. Usually on the day or soon. But usually we get like a good mix of individuals who either have cosplayed themselves or have good experience. They have knowledge and things like that.
They have knowledge in the world of arts, fashion, like a mix of different, what's the word, a mix of different, we get a mix of different individuals. Just give me a second. We get a mix of different individuals to judge the cosplay activity, because then you have like a good what's the word, you have,
it's a refreshing kind
POV, of like diverse POVs on and so that there's no bias, there's multiple people, and then the decisions end up being unanimous almost.
Fair.
Yeah, it's fair. But I mean, the whole point of the event is just how fun it is. It's really cool because you see all these guys embodying their characters so well, and they put a lot of effort into it. And the quality of some of the cosplays is just top notch. And I usually find myself thinking like, how long have these guys put into building this cosplay? And that is really amazing. And because we do a lot of work with cosplayers, not just within Sri Lanka also, but like outside as well. We've had the opportunity to work. This is through like in-game esports and like the work we do. We've had the opportunity to work with like both local and foreign cosplayers. And it's pretty fun to see like the process that they go into actually crafting the stuff. You have people going into like 3D printing their stuff to actually like hand crafting, hand sewing, and all of that effort, man. And just it's good because with so many cosplayers in one site, it's a good opportunity for you guys to also network, connect with each other and discuss ideas. Think of what else you guys want to do. Maybe you want to put a convention of your own. Maybe you guys want to organize events of your own. Maybe you want to collab and create content of your own.
I mean, it's
that's the best thing, right? Yeah. And one of the coolest things is I remember you'd find content creators, as in you'd find cosplayers creating content of their own, cosplaying, just recreating super movie moments, recreating superhero moments, and you'll get to see a lot of that. It's pretty wild. The role playing element in CCX is pretty wild. Yeah.
This weekend, we'll see you this weekend.
Yeah. Woo.
Anything you want to add in closing, or?
No, I think I think that's about it. In Play Expo, it'll be wild. There'll be artists, there'll be content creators, like influencers and content creators that you know and love. There's a whole range of them. There's obviously a whole range of cosplayers. There's a lot of other stuff as well. You'll have tech stores, geek merch stores, pop culture stores. There's a lot of brands that will be present at the event as well, presenting things that are in the space of gaming, pop culture, geek culture, and things like that, things that the youth would want. And it's an event for everyone. There's space for gamers, there are spaces and events also that kids can enjoy. It's a wholesome space for anyone young and old to like. It's not an age restricted event. It's almost like a family event, and just one with a lot of energy, and like you get to see like all parts of youthfulness, if you will. Yeah, so it'll be pretty fun.
To you and the team, man.
Thank you so much.
Looking forward to
Looking forward to seeing you there as well. Looking forward to seeing you guys there as well. So hurry, get your tickets. If you're a cosplayer, register for cosplay. If you're an esports athlete, I'm sure there are a few titles left. You can hurry up and register. If not, just come and cheer on, man. This is the largest esports event in the country, so just go for it.
Yeah, enough said.